and the chat rolls in. Stories fly and the night begins. Some talk steak, some talk life. Some just trying to get it right. Names on the screen, but it feels real close. Laughing easy like we're all on the porch. Different roads, but we meet right here. Pull up a chair, we're already there. Target prime rib, come on in. Riblets gather, let the talk begin. Laugh a little, say what it is. Ain't no pressure here in this carnivore keto. However you roll, we're just talking live and feeding the soul. Ain't about perfect, just where you're at. We're all hanging out, chewing the fat. Come on back, chewing the fat.
Hey, fellow riblets, it's me, Tom, from Target Prime Rib. How you guys doing? Another episode of Chewing the Fat is on here now, and I have my special guest with me, Aimee Perin, Brisket Boomers. How you doing, Aimee?
I'm great.
That's good. It's always good to be great, you know. So we have a couple people here. Three people. One just popped in. We got Paul Salvatera. Hey, Paul. And then we also have Sandy Blythe is here. And we got Free Thinker, 5930. And we got Consume the Goodness. Oh, and we just got Coach Angela Mullins. And we know Angela would not have missed having to see you. So I hope everybody is doing well today. I've been having on and offs, but what else is new? You know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't, right? So, you know, so I know that we've been trying to get together for the longest time, right?
Yeah.
And you know, finally that day has come. You know, if anybody out there knows how hard I've been trying, it's back and forth. You know, it's not that either one of our faults. It's just circumstances that happen, right? So,
Well,
you know, like
yeah, it was a car wreck,
right,
and then a cold. So yeah, I had forgotten.
I think I changed something too, but I forget what it was. So you know, it was on both ends. It wasn't just, you know, hey Jiffy, how you doing? So yeah, but this is, I mean, it makes it even more surreal, you know, like when you know, like there's some people you keep on trying and trying, and then finally when you get them in, it's like, oh my God, this is even more exciting. You know? So this is actually pretty cool. It shows that we have 11 people here watching. Now I don't think 11 people are in the chats, but you know, if anybody's hiding, or 13, if anybody's hiding or anything like that, just come on out and say hello, you know. Hey Donna Ray, Bacon Runners in the chats right now. So so what's been going on with you lately? Just to kind of bring us up to speed, like
lately.
Yeah, we'll go to the past later. We'll do something different.
Past what? What?
I mean, we'll go to your reason why you became carnivore and everything in a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. You want to start there?
If you want to, or I was just meaning, like, you know, if anything's been going on with you or anything, like, do you have any
Well,
plans?
let's see what's going on with me. Right now, I'm at my son's house because I'm helping him out with his daughter when he goes out of town.
Okay.
He Can I say who you work for?
Yeah.
He works for DJ Premier. If anybody knows, he's like really famous, but it's hip hop famous. So, you know, anyway, he like goes with him on tour and all that kind of stuff. He's his like sound engineer and tour manager. So anyway, when he goes out of town, I have been coming to help with his daughter, and she's 5. That's my granddaughter. So that's why I'm here. I usually live in Maine.
Okay, so
And
where exactly are you right now? I know you said you're your sons, but where is your?
right. Okay, so he was in Brooklyn, and now he lives in Greenwood Lake, New York, which is like right next to New Jersey. I mean, we might be really close. I don't know.
Um,
Because if you
well, I'm
drive too
about
far down one street, you're in New Jersey.
well, I'm about an hour from New York, an hour and
So
a
it's
half.
right next to Warwick, New York.
Okay,
That's where it is. And there's a giant lake that I have not even
yeah, you're
seen
probably
yet.
not that far from me.
Yeah,
Probably not that far from me.
pretty
I
cool.
wouldn't walk it, but you're probably not that far from me. You know.
No,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know you walk far distances. You do like 10 miles or something like that, right?
Yeah, but I don't usually walk.
But that's a lot more than 10 miles.
I usually walk a lot of different short walks
Oh, okay.
during the day, so I'm
So it's
not
just
walking 10 miles all at once.
right.
The most I'll do probably at one time is 3. When I walk to my other son's house, I'll walk 3 miles to his house, and then I'll walk home 3 miles. By the time I finish that, it's 6 miles, and then I have a mile walk that I do in the morning, and then a few. When you have a dog and you have a reason to go out. I just
Right.
got started walking with my dog and kind of, I don't know. I don't know whether I just love walking or I love being outside, or mostly it's because it's really good on my blood sugar. So
Yeah.
I started carnivore because I'm kind of crazy. I've, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 16. And so then when I was right out of college at 22, I got interested in natural healing and started shopping at health food stores and started trying to figure out if I could heal it, because I knew that other things were healable through nutrition and different therapies, and I wanted type 1 diabetes to be healable. So I started researching diet way back then, because I'll be 72 in a couple of months in July. So I've been trying different diets all that time, including many years as a vegetarian. Then I found Dr. Bernstein. Well, I was really sick by the time I found Dr. Bernstein when I was 42. I had a lot of unknown diabetic complications. And I say they're unknown because they were all in my skeletal system, which back then you couldn't look up diabetic complications and have the things that were wrong with me on the list. Like I had frozen shoulders, and I had frozen hips, and I had a really stiff body, and it would take me like maybe a minute to get up out of a chair, and it would take me about 2 minutes to get up off the floor, and I was only 42. And I
Right.
looked like
I
I
know
was in
that.
good shape because I wasn't overweight. I was skinny. I looked fine, but I was depressed. I could barely move. I had little kids. I couldn't play with my kids. I couldn't even hold my head up. When we sit and watch TV, my head would droop and I couldn't hold it up. Like I was getting really sick. Then I found Dr. Bernstein and I went on very low carb. So I quit, and I had not eaten sugar the whole time that I was diabetic. They said back then they tell you never eat sugar again. Back then in 1971, when I was diagnosed, they were like, you can't ever eat sugar again. I'm like, okay. And then when I found Dr. Bernstein in 1996, I went off all grains. I went off all, potato, root vegetables. So I only ate very low carb vegetables and chicken and turkey, because even back then I was afraid of red meat. So I was eating eggs and chicken and turkey and tuna. I had tuna fish every single day for lunch. Anyway, so I did that for 7 years. And then I was like, well, this is great. It's controlling my blood sugar. I got better. All my skeletal system stuff went away. And then I thought, but I'm not healing. I got to find a way to heal, because I kept thinking, I really thought that I could heal. So then I started the raw vegan diet, thinking that that was the answer to healing. And I actually did that for 7 whole years. And a lot of us, in my circle, we were in the raw food world. It was like
Right. You thought it was the right
crazy.
thing. You thought it was the right thing.
What?
I said you thought it was the right thing. So at that time, you thought it was the right thing
Oh
to do.
yeah, I
Oh
threw away my pots and pans.
yeah.
I threw away my stove. I was into it. I even had a business. I had a snack company. I had 18 dehydrators, and I made raw food snacks. I made crackers out of nuts and flax seeds. I made granola out of almonds and coconut. Anyway, I had a business. It was mildly successful. I was mailing products all over the world. I had 19 different flavors of raw chocolate sweetened with
Wow.
stevia. Anyway, it was my life. And then I had just written a book with my husband, self-published, all about the raw food diet, as we were starting to eat raw butter and questioning the whole thing, because we were all getting sick. The whole, women couldn't have babies. My joints were hurting really badly. My husband's teeth were falling out. I mean, it was bad. So anyway, we were researching the ketogenic diet because it was just coming to popularity in 2010. That's where I am now, 2010,
Okay.
researching the keto diet, mostly as low carb, high fat, or high fat, low carb. That's what it was called. Yeah, high fat, low carb. And then that kind of turned into keto. While I was researching it, I found that zero carb, what was it called? Zeroing in on health. I found that forum. It was before Facebook. There was a forum, and I found them, and I read all about these carnivores. I read all about people that were eating beef, salt, and water. And I read the Andersons, like Charlene Anderson. You probably saw pictures of her in all the pictures that everybody met her this past weekend at
Yeah. Well, I didn't go there, but yeah.
no, I know you didn't go, but I saw all the pictures too.
Right.
Anyway, I read their story, and I read about Kelly Hogan. I read about Amber O'Hearn. And at the time, I was just like, it didn't even occur to me that it would be possible for me to do it too. I don't know why I didn't just jump on at that point. And I obviously wish I had, but I guess I just wasn't ready for it. So I did keto for 8 years,
Hmm.
very, very low carb keto. And at the end, I was eating about 10 carbs, 10 grams of carbs a day. And then we found the carnivore diet. And in 2018, November. So that was 7 years ago. And I we had watched back then in 2018, there were only 3 videos about the carnivore diet. It was Sean Baker, Michaela Peterson, and Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan's show. We listened to him, and we were like, okay, that's what we're doing. And because Michaela had healed so many things, I really thought that this was the answer to healing type 1 diabetes. So I just dove in,
Yeah.
you know.
It's like,
And
well, what's what does it hurt to try?
right, right. Yeah. And it always puzzles me when people make a decision to start the carnivore diet, but they're not able, wait, Jasper, that's my puppy. They're not able to stay with it, because it seems like it's just a decision you make, and then, that's what you do. And I'm not sure why I was able to, but to me, it was just like it was okay, now I'm carnivore.
Right.
But so that was like it'll be 8 years in November. I'm always looking ahead. It'll be 8 years in November.
Yeah, after a
So
while, yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. So when you say 8 years in November, is it around the same time as the Hack Your Health? And are you going to Hack Your Health?
uh, not not unless I make a bunch of money, but
Okay.
that'd be
Okay.
great. I'd love to.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying to
I
go
want
there
to go
too.
to all of them. I wanted to go last
Oh,
weekend. I want to go to every event. That would be awesome. But it first you have to travel there, and then you have to pay for the event, and then you have to pay for a hotel. So it's.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I'm trying to go because I did buy the ticket,
Yeah,
but
you bought the ticket.
I bought it was like 118. But of course, you have all the like you just mentioned, the travel and the hotel and everything. Um, but I like to go, so it's pretty far away. It's just the closer we get, the less time I have to save. It's like that marker.
Well, and then you lost your roommate too.
Yeah, yeah. So I have somebody that's doing some things, trying to get in and everything like that. She's actually getting some help with the security deposit and everything. So she's waiting on that person to of when they can help her. So I'm about 85%. And I'm just being that way because I don't want to be optimistic. But I don't want to be pessimistic either. So I'm just being cautious. So I still have the ad in to the Facebook and everything. I just, I'm just not really answering anybody if the room's still available because I want to wait for her. But as soon as, so it's like there, so we got a few people that joined us, some more people, and we have a question as well. So I'll show you the people that joined us first. So you already knew about Bacon Runner, but she just mentioned that she put us on the big TV. So I don't know
Yeah.
if I don't know if I would do that, Donna Ray. My face being that huge is not necessarily a good thing. Okay.
Yeah,
um,
I do that all the time too. I watch YouTube and I put it on my TV, and then I walk on my walking pad while I'm watching a YouTube video, and I love doing that. That's like my favorite thing to do.
okay. And then let me see. And Twin Brook Acres just joined us. But we also have North Dakota Carnivore. Lance is here. So he's saying hello. And then we got the birthday girl herself, Erin. Amen, Amy. It's just the decision you make and you stick with it. Yes, I agree.
Awesome. Hi, Erin.
I agree. So happy birthday, Erin. You're hearing it first that she's 14 years old. And I only say that because I used to do this thing with my niece and nephew when they were kids, when they were young. I mean, they're not babies anymore. But we used to reverse our ages. So whatever age you were, that's the age the reverse was actually your age. So like right now, I'm 35. So that means Erin has to be 14 because she's the reverse of her age. So it sounds silly, but you just do things.
Hey, I think it sounds pretty good. I'd be 17.
And of course, next
Except
year you're going to jump from 17 to 27.
yeah, you jump a whole decade in a year.
Poor Mitch is going to be 97. All right, so here's our question. Okay, so hi friends. This is from Terry B33. Hey Teresa, how we doing? I was wondering if any of Amy's kids or grandkids have type 1 diabetes and how they are doing.
So nobody has type 1 in my family. No, nobody, not even before me. I kind of think that mine was caused by taking tetracycline for acne when I was 15. I took it for about a year, and I meant to look that up, it used to be listed, type 1 diabetes used to be listed as a side effect of taking this powerful antibiotic, tetracycline. But now it's not on the list. So I don't know. I think that mine was medically induced. But I know that it can be inherited, and you never know why it happens. And it's pretty weird because babies 1 year old can, a lot of people say it's from a toxic overload, but then how would a baby who's 1 year old get type 1 diabetes? Or you can get it at 60. And when I got it at 16, it was as diseases go, it was fairly common as a teenage onset. Like so it was like they knew right away what was wrong with me because it was a common age to get it, even though now little bitty kids are getting it. Anybody in all ages are getting it. So I don't really, yeah, but nobody else. Yeah. And none of my kids are carnivores. I raised my kids to be foodies. I taught them to cook and I raised them to be foodies. So they are foodies. And my daughter is pretty much meat based. Like she eats only a few vegetables and meat and eggs.
Let me unmute myself. I muted myself for a second because I had to do something. Okay, so we got a few more people. Excuse me. Oh, got a little. So Minuwa is here. Hey, Minuwa. She's
Hi, Minuwa.
Yeah, you know Minuwa. That's right.
Yeah.
So
she came over from Steak and Butter Gang.
Yeah. And I mean, I know you're on Steak and Butter Gang, and you're also with Kiltz as well. I know.
Yes.
Because we were doing that during Carnivore Month. We were doing that lion for 1 month, and I probably didn't. I probably if it was a contest, I probably would not have won the contest. Not that I gave up right away. I mean, I did lion for the whole month basically, but eventually I had to. Well, I did full lion for about 21 days, and then I had to bring the butter back in. At least I felt I had to bring the butter back in.
Yeah, I don't find lion that easy. I find it challenging.
Right.
I did it for January and February, and in February I did add decaf because
I mean, I went with the rule that I was going to do lion again, but I was going to keep the butter and keep the coffee. So, but I recently just got rid of dairy, and I thought that would help because I've been having obviously this is carnivore, so we all know what kind of talk is on carnivore. I was having bathroom issues for the longest time, but nothing really bad. Yesterday, I was telling you, I was really, really bad. But I thought that getting rid of the dairy was going to help that. I thought getting rid of the cheese, getting rid of the, was going to help that. But I still kept the butter because butter coffee is just the ultimate. And I eat too much butter, but I think the butter could be my problem in general. So
how much butter do you eat?
Well, per day, I have like 1 to 2 sticks.
Well, that could really definitely be why you're having that issue.
Right. No, I haven't had the butter in a couple of days because I stopped. Well, I had it yesterday, but I only had half a stick. So I'm pretty much going to try my best to kind of go off coffee and butter for a while, for at least 2 weeks, just to see what happens, see if that helps out with a lot of issues. And I am drinking like Aaron would do. I am drinking some tea because I have to have a reason to use my new cup from Alia's son.
Yeah, I love it.
So I'm doing that, but it's a journey, and you have to experiment and everything. And
yeah, that's what it's all about. Being willing to experiment.
Yeah. And the only reason if I seem tired to anybody, the reason why is because I didn't get very much sleep last night because of what was going on with the bathroom and everything. I was going like every 5 minutes. And And then also too, what happened was, so I ended up taking a nap that was about 5 hours.
Oh,
So like I to be honest, I woke up maybe a half an hour before we even started. So I'm just groggy. So it's nothing to do with anything. I'm just groggy. The only symptom I have still is I have a really bad pain in my shoulder. But before it was like in the stomach. Now the stomach pain's gone. And and Dr. Phil, the program that we're doing right now with the insulin intensive, right?
yes, I know of it. I don't really know exactly what you do, but I know
Right.
you're in
Well,
that group.
he just gives me like things to do, or not things to do, but like right now he just started me on what's level 7, which is 32-hour fast. So I stopped eating. I had my one meal today at 10 a.m. So I won't start eating again until about 6 tomorrow. So and I'll have that one, and I'll have that meal. So I mean, I would be, he probably wants me to have 2 meals, but I'm not going to eat late at night. So I'll just have a big enough meal, or I'll just divide it where it looks like 2 meals. You know, like okay, I'll eat at 6 to 6:30, and then I'll eat again at 7. And then that'll be it. Like I'll have like a thing of, I'll have some tallow bark or something. And I'm still having
Yeah.
my fat. Like today my fat intake was like huge. You know, and I didn't have to have butter to have it. I just had my tallow bark and that, and steak and some eggs. And I did the eggs. I did only the egg yolks. I didn't do the egg whites. And I did 10 egg yolks.
Well,
So it's a learning tool. So let me see. I have something starred. All right. So I had to put this on screen. Now this is for Aaron again, but this has to get. I went to Sam's and spent $42 on a 2.5-pound ribeye. It's for my birthday. Well, Aaron, if that's what you wanted, you deserve it. So, and we got Patty in USA. They're talking about naming somebody. I don't know. And Deborah, this and that, is asking if I still have a gallbladder. Yes, I do. Some things that they're not going to take away from me. So, just I wish people. Aimee is actually pretty bright. Okay, so so I need more questions to come from you guys. All right. Now I know Jerry and Grandma are not here, but it's going to have to go to somebody. It's like I have no moderators today. Like, where do they go?
well, I did announce it on Instagram and Facebook, so
I saw that. I saw that. And I
was
commented
hoping
on
some
the.
of my friends would join, but
Well, yeah. If you're on I mean, well, no, you know it is because I'm not showing Facebook, so that's probably why.
well, I told them to come to your channel on YouTube, though.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
people are.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah. How many people do you know that really listen to us?
Well, a lot of people think that if you're talking about type 1 diabetes, it doesn't have to do with them because they don't have type 1 diabetes. But
Right.
it's kind of an interesting way to study about diet through someone who has type 1 diabetes, because we have to take insulin every time we eat. And here's the question.
Yep.
How many times do you eat a day?
And how much protein?
And how much protein? So I usually eat 3 meals a day. And I don't have to, but right now that's what I do because I enjoy the time spent relaxed eating and planning and cooking, and I like the rhythm of the 3 meals a day. And since, well, I have no excuse. It just works with me, and I have to take insulin for everything I eat. So I happen to know that for me, it works better to eat smaller meals, 3 meals, instead of one big meal or 2 larger meals. I would rather it be small. So I can tell you what I eat. I don't know. I don't do macros. I don't count my macros. But actually, I have a few times, and I think that my macros are about um, I think at about 120 grams of protein and twice as much fat is where I think that if I did my macros. I have done them, but I eat like 2 eggs with 4 pieces of bacon for breakfast. For lunch, I'd have either like 6 to 8 ounces of chuck roast or brisket or a burger and bacon. And then for supper, I'd have like 4 ounces of burger and 2 eggs and maybe a slice of bacon. So small-ish, moderate size meals.
All right. So I just marked a few things. Um, so the first one is this one here from Gary. Is it just me, or does Thomas say Jerry like Gary? Sure. Whatever floats your boat, Gary. All right. And then Aaron asks, how predictable are your numbers compared to when you ate carbs?
All right, so it's been a really long time since I've eaten carbs. Like, so this year I found the very low carb diet 30 years ago last month. So I've been eating very low carb. So that I haven't had popcorn or bread or potatoes for 30 years. And before that, I was eating like health food store, I was eating carbs, but I was eating only organic food, like from the health food store, only whole foods. I've been on a whole food diet, home cooked whole foods since like at least 1978 or 9. So that's when I got serious about my health. So my numbers are not very predictable, I have to admit. I find it very challenging, even as a carnivore, to control my blood sugar because I'm so sensitive to insulin. And I'll tell you that, I don't take very much insulin because I've been working at this for so long, trying to heal it, and all the walking that I usually do, that I only need like about 10 units of insulin for the whole day, including all my meals and everything. And that's not very much insulin. So, which means that my blood sugar goes low a lot because I'm so sensitive to insulin that it's hard to predict. I spent the whole afternoon in the 40s, which is very low. And it's not, anyway, so I can't say they're predictable. They're not.
All right. So
Because,
all right. So Aaron's asking another question. Do you still
that's like
experience?
perfect blood sugar, 83. That's what
Let's
I
see
am right
Now,
now.
now that you just did that, let me see what mine is. Mine's a little higher. Mine's at 105.
Yeah, that's fine too. But so I don't know if you can see the line on the bottom, but you see right from here to here, it was
Right.
very low. Yeah, all afternoon for hours. So let's see if it stays there.
Do you still experience, now that you just mentioned that, do you still experience spikes or crashes?
Like what?
Do you still experience spikes, big spikes, or crashes?
Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, I wouldn't, no, it's more gradual, and it's not as crashy, and it's not as spiky. So I might go like a couple of weeks ago, I had a bad cold and my blood sugars did go up into the 200s, which is very unusual for me. But they did because sickness can cause you to have, Thomas will tell you when you get sick, your blood sugars go really high. It's hard to
Mhm.
keep them um,
Which is why I'm amazed
good.
by right
So,
now my sugar's being at
but
105.
they do go. I might crash. I guess I don't call it a crash. I guess I do go really low sometimes. Like during the night, I only need half of a unit of insulin, and when I'm on the lion diet, I can't take any insulin overnight, or I'll go into the 40s overnight. So it's like, why do I just not? I wish that I could make myself be on the lion diet all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I could
I
even,
do feel
I
better with
would,
you,
I
so.
would be, I would feel a little bit better, and I would be able to take less insulin if I would do the lion diet. But I really like eggs and bacon and butter. And right now I'm using butter a lot. I'm eating a lot more butter right now because I find that it keeps me in nutritional ketosis, which I really like being in ketosis. So,
Okay. So, okay, so let me go back in time to the. So this isn't really a question, but I figure I put it up anyway. So Patty, she says that she thinks diabetics need to eat 3 meals a day to keep their sugars leveled. Now, on that turn, Miyua actually says to her, it has been discovered that diabetics do best eating 2 meals a day, especially if they are type 2. Yeah, I find that 2 meals are a little bit better for me.
and I've actually heard even type 1 diabetics saying that they do really well on one meal a day. So I think it's individual. And I also think that we're alive for a really long time. So, you can try different things. And I think that's what's really great about the carnivore diet is who knows, I might try one meal a day and see how I do on it. You know? Right now I'm enjoying 3 meals a day, but I might change my mind and try out 2 meals a day for a while, or even one. I don't know. Right now, it's almost like entertainment.
Right.
It's like gives me something to do during the day. My husband died almost 5 years ago, and my life is really wonderful, and I have a lot of friends online, but I don't have very many physical friends that I can actually hug.
Right.
I don't really
Why we
know
love to meet up.
anybody.
Right.
I don't really know anybody who lives in my community except my book club, and I see them once a month. So it's like I like eating because it gives structure to my day. And if I were to decide, let me try one meal a day, I don't think I would feel comfortable eating that much at one time. I don't know. Have you ever done one meal a day,
Yeah,
Thomas?
well, no, I mean, during with the program, he has us do OMAD. So I was doing OMAD, and he, like I mentioned to you behind stage, he's having me now do level 7, which is 32 hours of fasting and then eating. So like I did my last meal today at 10 a.m. So I won't do until about 6. Um, because 24 plus 8 is 32. So in case
Right,
anybody
right.
doesn't really know the math, but so that we're going to test that out and see how that does. And I've always found, I don't know about you, I don't know about anybody else, but whenever I have stomach issues, which I had yesterday, fasting was always the thing that helped me the most. And so it kind of kills me that I can't fast. Like I always like if I did like a 2-3 day fast, any stomach issues I had was always corrected. You know,
Right, right. Yeah.
um,
And I should probably fast more. I would probably do better if I fasted more because I think it increases your insulin sensitivity to fast. I don't really understand why, but I have done like a 3-day fast, which was really more like a 3.5 because you add the nighttime. So it was like 82 hours instead of whatever 3-day fast is like. It's a 3-day fast, 72. Right. So, it was a little bit more than a 3-day fast. And I did great on it, but it's boring. Fasting is so boring.
I find it easier to fast when I'm doing stuff. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I'm going to fast, like when I wasn't working and stuff like that, when I was going to fast and I was able to, I would just like be like, okay, I'm going to clean this closet, and I'm going to do a really good job on it, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to go for more walk. I'm going to just take my time and go for more walks, because you never know. I didn't know at that time if I could handle it. So I'm like, I'm just going to take my time, but I'm going to still do something. I'm not going to just sit around do nothing. And yeah, I just find it easier when you're busy. So when I work, I find it easier when I'm working. Now
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
always keep up the fast, because a lot of times when I'm working, it's a matter of knowing your insulin too. It's you take, like in the beginning, I would take some insulin and I go to work and I'd be like, okay, my sugars are still pretty high and everything like that. So I need the insulin. And then you go to work, you work for about like 4 hours or whatever, and all of a sudden your sugars go to like 50, 60. So it's like, and you don't want to spend money. So the only thing that's free over there would be saltine crackers. So you grab a couple crackers and to get your sugars back up, or you grab a cup of
Well,
coffee and you put some milk in it.
so
I
for
mean, I'm not
me,
saying, it's like a
you, when you're fasting, it doesn't, to me, if you're a type 1 diabetic or even a type 2 on insulin, and if you are fasting and you want to be fasting, then you gotta play with what you use to raise your blood sugar.
right.
And instead of eating crackers, because they're too slow, you have to digest all of that. So it's going to take a really long time for your blood sugars to rise, even
Right.
if you eat a cookie. So I usually use these little bitty mints. I was going to go get them, but I don't want to leave the camera. But I use these little bitty mints that are organic. They're molasses granules um, and essential oils. So they're tiny little peppermints. So there's 1 gram of carb in each mint.
Well, and don't get me wrong, I never said that the saltine crackers were ideal.
Right, right. But I think, one, as a type 1 diabetic, you've got a plan.
Right.
What are you going to do to raise your blood sugar? And when you're fasting, you could use something like honey, because that's almost like a liquid.
Yeah.
So it's not really like breaking your fast, because you've got to be able to raise your blood sugar up so you're not running low while you're fasting, because then you're going to feel terrible.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah,
So,
man, that's a great tip, actually, because the one thing that's something we actually do have free there at where I work, is we do have honey for people that like honey in their coffee and tea.
right, yeah. So you can just,
Yeah.
have a spoon of honey and it'll raise your blood sugar.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
people probably
perfect.
wonder, like, what are you doing? I'll be like, hey, I really like honey. So, So yeah, that actually be pretty beneficial, because then I wouldn't have
Yeah,
to make,
yeah. And you can still say you're fasting because it's just a little bit of liquid and it will raise your blood sugar. It's slower than, I mean, I used to carry around little honey packets to raise my blood sugar, but I found that it was really difficult to be exact with the honey, because, like, if I'm 40 and I want to be 80, that's 40 points difference that I need to make. So I
right.
don't want to overshoot and end up 150.
Yeah, which
So
is not hard to do. It's very.
And so with the little mints, I can, like, 1 mint raises me 5 points. So I can do the arithmetic, and if I'm 40, I can eat 6 mints and I'll end up at 80. And so that's what I like about the mints. If I were to use honey, it's not as easy to be exact, and I might end up higher than I'd want to be.
Right.
But it still will raise your blood sugar, and it's good on a fast when you don't really want to be eating something solid,
Right.
you know.
Well, I mean, right now I don't really have the problem, because I don't really fast. This is the longest fast I've had in a while, and everything, which I'm pretty excited about, So I'm going to do my best. So tomorrow I won't have my first meal until like 6 o'clock.
That's
So,
awesome. Yeah. You
I'll
maybe
make
I'll
it. I'll make it. I'm
Oh
not.
yeah.
I mean, what's tomorrow? Thursday.
Yeah.
So, if my shoulder starts getting better, then maybe I'll go for a walk or something. I didn't do a chair tai chi
I
today.
wonder why you're getting pain in your shoulder.
I don't
It
know. I
it
mean, and the
always
chair tai chi
worries
does not
me
hurt my arm that much.
that it worries me because I had frozen shoulders because high blood sugars can cause frozen shoulders. I
Right.
don't really understand how. I don't, but it does. It's a complication of diabetes is frozen shoulder. Explain that to me. I don't know. It's like the glycation of the sugars in the blood causes the joint to be stiffened.
Yeah. Now, does that also
So
cause the pain in the shoulder blade as well? Like, is it the whole shoulder or
it's
just?
just the shoulder mostly, and it does start with pain before you lock up. Like I used to not be
Yeah. No,
able
I
to
don't. No,
raise.
I can move my arm. It just
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah,
But
right.
the pain is more intense. It's in both the shoulder, but it's in the shoulder blade,
Mm.
which is. But yesterday, there was pain also, like starting from the belly button and went all the way to the right side and then went up the arm. So
Well, maybe it's from the Tai Chi. You just moved it in a way you haven't moved it in a
maybe
while.
that's actually something that So I took a rest today for the Tai Chi. I mean, I do like doing it. I'm feeling better. I know, like when I did the first one, I'm sure you saw it, but I showed my belly for the first time to everybody.
Yeah, I missed that. I heard you talking about it, but I missed the belly.
And then John Studd comes on some of the channels and says, "Oh, did you see his belly? Oh my God, it's huge! Did you see his belly?" And I just said to him, "I'm like, you're really infatuated with my belly. Like, is there something with that? Like, do we need to analyze that a little bit?" All right, so let's put some. I just started some things. Paul Salvatera says this is not really a question, but he uses a question to get it noticed. Dr. Bernstein said, if it is good for type 1 diabetes, then it is good for any diabetic. And I remember I never actually seen Dr. Bernstein, but I did hear about him. Unfortunately, he was passed away by the time I heard
So,
about
the new movie, The Cholesterol Code,
Right, he's featured in.
he is featured in it, and then you got to watch that movie
I
if
did.
you
I
want.
did.
Oh, well, that's Dr. Bernstein.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, I thought you meant you'd never seen him on film.
No, I never seen his videos. I never seen
Oh,
I never watched him
oh,
before. But
oh.
no, I have seen him. I know. I mean, before that, I've seen him.
Okay,
I know what
okay,
the guy looks like. It's just,
right.
I just never watched his content like you guys, like you and Paul did.
Right. Well, he saved my life. I mean, I wept through the whole part of his part in the cholesterol code because he's my hero. He
Yeah,
saved my life.
yeah,
He became a doctor solely so he could, at 45, so that he could help and he was type 1 diabetic since he was either 8 or 12. I never can remember. I think he was 12. And he was an engineer and he became a doctor at 45 so that he could prove he could get the respect because he understood about how good the low carb diet was for diabetes, but nobody was listening to him. So he figured if he would become a doctor, they'd listen to him, but they still didn't. And it's still not in the protocol for diabetes to go low carb. They still say take insulin and don't even change your diet. That's what they say. For all kinds of diabetes, it's asinine. Is that a curse word?
asinine.
Yeah. I don't think it is.
I don't. It doesn't really matter to me anyway. So I'm going to be kicking him off soon, but we just got Broken Back Carnivore, which is AKA, we all know is John Studd or John Spud. And he's putting a lot of,
A lot of
he's
what?
putting a lot of content in here. I don't know. Can you see the chats?
I can, but the print is so little that I can't read any of it, so I can't see it.
Yeah, I don't know if you really want to see. He's saying
What
that
are you
I was
saying?
squeezing my belly yesterday, and at Tai Chi, and then I should be ashamed of myself.
What? That's not very nice.
No, he's a pain in the. So let's do. This is the one time I'd love to have my moderators here.
Well, I mean, he's even a carnivore. Why is he being mean?
How do we know he's a carnivore?
Oh.
You know. All right, guess what, Broken? I'm not going to just put you in timeout.
Yeah.
Your messages are hidden now.
Get rid of him.
You can listen, but you can't participate. So, yeah.
So,
I mean, it's probably the same guy. It's probably John Studd, and he's just he's using different aliases. So then that way, people, when they kick him off, he has other ways of getting on.
well, I always wonder what motivates people to do things like that. I don't understand what their motivation is. Like, what is he trying to do? Is he just trying to upset you
Well, I
or
mean,
make you
first,
stop?
I don't think it's fully me because he also goes on with Russ. He also goes on with Bob. He goes on everybody's channel. I mean, look,
So what's
Aimee.
his motivation? Is he trying to like stop the carnivore movement?
Maybe
He
he's hired by other vegans or something. I have no idea.
he's not gonna be able to stop the carnivore movement.
No.
I guess
Yeah.
he's just trying to interrupt us.
Yeah.
But it's not very kind.
No, it's not. He's Well, I mean, let me see if I can. I actually found a picture of him. One day, I found it. So let me see if I can. Just give me a couple seconds because it's on here. So I don't think you've seen it yet.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I catch some of your videos, but they seem to come as a surprise, and I don't know when they are, and
The videos, yeah.
I miss them sometimes.
Well, I usually do. I do the members only right away. I just put the members only public, and then I set it for 12 p.m. the next day. So that's usually when they come on. Let me just go to image file.
I've only caught a few of your lives.
Okay. Why are you not? There you go. Okay. All right.
Okay.
It'll pop up any second. So that's John Spud. John Spud.
Great hair.
Oh, it's a wig. So in real life he's like bald. So that's how potato cross dressers are. So so gonna remove that. I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
It's hilarious.
Move from studio, and all right. So let me put us a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. Hey, Pretzel Pete has just joined. Pretzels, anyone? Peter, unless they're carnivore pretzels, I don't want any. So, which I'm sure you could do a carnivore pretzel. They do carnivore everything else.
Yeah, look at Carnivore Cam. He probably could invent one. He makes all kind of crazy stuff.
There's actually a thing. I think it's on Facebook. You might have seen it, but it's I forget what his name is. Carnivore Chef or something like that. And he has been showing pictures of he did a picture of a sponge cake, that looked so good and so delectable. That the girl that I'm hoping to bring in here, she's not carnivore, and she'll probably I told her, just don't tempt me, just don't make whatever you want but she's a baker. So then I thought to myself, I'm like, if I give you the ingredients, if you're that good with ingredients and like that, because I'm not that great, I can, and it's edible, but it's not presentable, and like, even on my videos, it's like humorous, basically, more than anything. But I said to her, I said, if I give you the ingredients, would you be able to make something carnivore, like a carnivore cake or carnivore? And she's like, well, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, well, if you read the ingredients, would you be
You
able to?
read the recipe. She'd have to read the recipe.
Right, the
I
recipe.
love one reason I'm not lying all the time
Because
is
you like
because
those things.
I love oopsie cake and I
Yes.
make it for all. So when I go lying, I have to do it in a month where there's no celebrations, you know?
Yeah. Well,
But I
I'm
love Kelly Hogan's oopsie cake and it's very easy to make,
right.
but you have to know certain things that you do in recipes. And I grew up cooking and I even had a business with the raw food thing. I'm really good at recipes. I'm really good at creating recipes and knowing how to do stuff in the kitchen. So with the oopsie cake, it's super easy, but you got to know how to beat egg whites, and you got to know how to fold because you got to fold the yolks into the whites and the cream cheese. You got to fold that in so it
Right.
stays light and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I did.
sure, she could make you an oopsie cake. Just follow the directions.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll probably just end up making it myself, but I just thought it was good. Like, hey, like, help me out,
Yeah,
But as long as she pays me rent, she's helping me out quite a bit. So,
exactly.
um, so Uncle Charlie is asking, did you see the lady had Dave's Killer bread, and she found sawdust chips on the bread? I did not see that.
I did not see that.
I
So I wanted to say, so do you have the coaching certification from Dr. Kiltz? Did
Yeah,
you finish that? You did. So we're
yeah,
both coaches. So
technically,
I've been doing group coaching for like all different types of diabetes, and I have a Zoom meeting on Thursday nights with my group. So I have a group. And I just wanted to mention it here in case somebody wants to join my group
yeah, sure.
that it's for all types of diabetes. And I even have people that they've never been diagnosed, but they know they need to watch their blood sugar. So they join too. And we basically just talk about how to get our insulin, to get our bodies more sensitive to insulin, because that's everybody's job, whether you're any type of diabetic or just a person. You need to be sensitive to your own insulin or the insulin that you have to take. And oh yes, and I'm an artist.
Yes, I know. I know. I've seen some of your paintings. They're pretty good. I dabble in art here and there.
Yeah,
So
I know you do. You're an artist too. Yeah.
I try. I was better. I'm still pretty good. I just pat myself on the back. But So okay. So to move on. So Patty mentions I did OMAD for a long time, and I find OMAD 2MAD is best. Yeah, I I probably find 2MAD to be better too, but I just like to be able to fast every once in a while as well.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
think it's good.
So I'm going to show this one. I'm going to show the coolest one. If the pain is Deborah's just pretty much telling me if the pain is on your right side, if belly, then goes to your shoulder, it might be a gallbladder. So
Oh,
I I actually did a Lewis and I did ChatGPT to ask. And then they had many things that could be, but the number one thing was gallbladder. The problem I have with it being the gallbladder is I don't want to have my gallbladder removed. And I don't want the doctor because it's going to affect it's going to affect things. And I don't want, things to be affected. So it's a hard decision I have to make. So what I might do is I might ask Dr. Nelson and see what he thinks.
well,
The pain in the belly has gone away. So
the person who was on at 6 o'clock this morning,
yeah,
did you listen to that?
I didn't listen fully.
Because she had blood, she almost had her gallbladder removed because she was having gallbladder attacks. But
Okay.
she did not have to have it removed after she became carnivore. So,
Yeah.
uh,
But don't forget, I'm actually over a year in on
I
carnivore.
know,
If
I
I have it
know. I
removed,
wonder
that's a
if you
whole.
could do a gallbladder cleanse. So did you look that up?
No, because I didn't think about that. So now that I thought about it,
There is a gallbladder cleanse, but you have to do like lemon juice and olive oil and all kinds of. It's like a real protocol. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not recommending it, but I'm not gonna. I mean, you know, I'm a
yeah,
coach. I'm
and
not a medical professional.
she's thinking it might be too much fat. Um,
Yeah, it
yeah,
could be, and
which
probably fasting would be the best thing for you.
yeah. So I'm going to do the fasting, see how that helps me. The 32-hour fast, and stay with the protocol, so to speak. And like I said, even longer than that, I stopped butter, I stopped dairy. I'm still doing some fats. I still have like a little bit of like beef tallow,
Tallow, yeah, yeah.
but we go from there.
What's that long comment there? I don't know what that is. Somebody said something. I wish I could see these.
Oh, that's Nightbot.
Oh,
Yeah, I can read it. We are just a bunch of riblets who have experience or hopes to experience healing with this way of eating. We are not doctors or nurses and cannot give actual advice. All we can do is just let you see our experience. Well, it's supposed to say
right.
experiences, but
Yeah, right.
that was cut
Yeah,
off.
exactly. Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I have just like Grandma and Amy Davis does. I have a program called Nightbot that puts out the messages every once in
Oh,
a while. Like
oh,
you can
cool.
actually, if anybody wants to test it out, trying to think what the word is. Let me just give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Shows what generation I am with that expression. All right. Let me see where Tarantine Chi. Okay, giveaway. All right. So my commands. All right. So if you put in your chats all lowercase prime rib, your channel should pop up for the people that are on here. So either Aaron or Papa Carnivore, if you guys put try if you want to give it a try real quick, just put in prime rib, all one word, all lowercase, and see if your channel pops up. And if it doesn't, then I will have a stern talking to with Nightbot.
So Thomas, you used to be on a different format, and this
Yeah.
is StreamYard. You decided to go with StreamYard?
Well, what happened was this: I was on Emux, and it was pretty good and everything. But then I interviewed Adrienne Glenhill,
Mm-hmm.
and she has StreamYard with a couple because she did the Lioness Lifestyle with
Right, yeah.
Christy, Meeting Wellness, and
Mm-hmm.
Nourishment Reenacted Ellie, and she goes to me, she goes, during the thing, she goes, if you want, it was like afterwards, like behind the stage,
Right,
that
right.
if you'd like, just you just give us a contribution of whatever, and you can be on with us, you can
Share.
join our
That's
share.
awesome. That's
So
great.
I have like, I mean, I had to be careful. That's why a lot of people are like, like I get people on there like, well, can you send me the thumbnail now? Can you do? Well, I can't even make the thumbnail until I have, because I can only have like 1 or 2 people at a time. I mean, I can have more, but then it fills it up for them. I have to allow them to have their content
Right,
too.
right, right. Well, I'm using the free version of StreamYard right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I did
be,
that for a while too.
yeah,
But
but I think it allows you, I mean, I do usually do a Friday at 3 live on my channel, Brisket
okay,
Boomers. Um, So yeah, and I just talk about different stuff, you know, what actually is on my mind if something's coming up and I
So
don't
I'm
know.
looking. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the thing, and it seems to be working. Um, and three of my moderators have joined me. I mentioned Papa Carnivore's here, so he's a moderator. He was one of the first, and then we got Just Jerry's here.
Oh,
Um,
hi Jerry. Hi Peter.
let me see. Jerry says hello, Tom, Amy, and all you folks. Just got out of a big meeting, and now I am listening mode. Sorry, I cannot be a moderator. I'm at work. Jerry, you're always a moderator. Whether or not you're able to engage is a different story, but you're
Yeah.
always a moderator.
Oh,
And of course, we
shoot.
got Crochet Grandma is here.
Hi there.
And, everybody actually did the prime rib, and their channels came up.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. So if you want to have somebody subscribe to you or something like that, or, somebody that hasn't ever seen you before, try it. Do it. Um, you know. So I'm going to put this up. This is actually not for us, but it's for somebody that we obviously know. So Miniwa is telling Paul, but I think this is something that should be celebrated. I just came off of insulin last Friday. So
Oh,
we are
wow.
still working on waking up my pancreas. Okay.
That's awesome.
And I was there when he told her. He told her and Danielle Brown that they don't have to do the insulin anymore, and that they're off it. And I can't wait for that day to come from me. But,
So Thomas, have you ever had a C-peptide test?
trying to think. I think I did. Yes, it was. Lewis actually was kind enough to pay for a test for me, and I think it was a C-peptide.
Do you know
don't remember
what
the
it
score.
was? You don't remember?
No, for some reason, 5 comes to mind, but that doesn't. I don't know if that's right or not. So I mean,
Well,
they said it was. They said it was fine. They said like I was.
so
good.
that means you'll be able to get off of insulin if you're making insulin,
Mhm.
because mine is 0.15.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I make the tiniest, ittiest, teensiest bit of insulin. So, because it's not 0, but if yours is 5,
I
that's
think. I mean, I'd have to double
you
check.
don't you
Sure.
don't yeah.
Yeah, I don't know 100%, but I have the notes somewhere. It's just I first have to figure out where I put the
I think
notes.
it's anything over 3 is normal. I think it's 3, but I
Yeah, I
could be
mean,
wrong.
it's possible it could be 1.5. 5 just comes in my head, but
Right, right. Yeah, I know. So you don't have your test, like my tests are in a basket right next to where that, not today because I'm not at
so
my
they're
house,
they're on
but they're
my
right there and I
computer
can
somewhere.
grab them and say, this is what,
They're
I'm
on my
pretty,
computer somewhere.
I'm pretty compulsive.
Let me look and
I
see if I have
mean,
them. Well,
yeah,
while you're
you might have them in your like patient portal, huh?
well, I got it through a different company, so it's not in the patient portal
Oh, right,
because
right.
Lewis paid for it separately. Um,
Is it, what's the name of that company? Own Your Own Labs?
no, it wasn't on your own labs. It was something else. It was
Oh,
like it was like one of the lab cores or whatever.
oh, right,
But it just wasn't done through the hospital.
right.
Yeah, I'll find it. I mean, I might have even like have taken it and downloaded it and put it into my. You know what? Actually, I have that open. So let me just double check.
I'm a big believer in journaling. I write everything down in a journal, so that I can, I do a at home A1C test every month. I always write it in my journal. I write my blood sugars, my insulin, my food, everything. It's written, longhand in my journal. I know people who are younger than me, a lot of them use apps and
Yeah,
something online, but
my
I
grandmother.
really like the action of writing it down.
Yeah, my grandmother used to write everything down. She would write down like how big her poop was.
I don't go that far. I don't write about my poop. But I'll write down when I had a cold or when I was sick, or I write down how far I walk every day. I write down what I weigh every morning. I write it all down because then I can look back and see how I was doing in the past. And I've been doing that since I found Dr. Bernstein. So I've been keeping a journal for
Paul thinks I was
30 years.
Yeah, Paul thinks I was 2.5 as he recalls. So
Oh, well, that's still pretty good.
yeah, that's possible. I can't find it right now. Like I said, if you don't know where to find it, it's going to be hard to find
No,
something.
well, and maybe
I
Paul might be
either have
right.
it in my email, or I have it. Oh, there's one more place I could look.
What
There is one more place I could look.
is the level of a healthy C peptide? Normal range for C-peptide level is typically between 0.5 to 2.0 when fasting.
Okay. And I didn't really fast that long. I mean, I fasted for like 12 hours.
Fasted overnight, right? Yeah. Wow.
Well, they say not that they say
0.5. I need to put that in my brain and remember it, because then I can have a goal. If I could get my 0.15 up to 0.5. It says this range can vary slightly depending on the laboratory. So we're talking about the C-peptide is what's left over when you produce insulin in your body. So if you have a high C-peptide, that might tell you that you're a type 2 diabetic and you're producing way too much insulin to keep your blood sugars level. So you don't want it to be high either.
No.
But you don't want it to be
5.0
super.
is probably too high. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably too high. But so you don't want it to be low, because then you're a type 1 diabetic. But if it's high, it means you're producing way too much insulin and that you're not sensitive to your insulin anymore, and you're becoming a type 2 diabetic, or you already are one. So it's a useful test.
All right. So let me just do something really quickly.
My CGM is saying brief sensor issue.
We got Kevin from Tuber Chats here in the building, and Minua says her peptide was 1.5 back in January. So I definitely don't know what my peptide was back in January 2025.
Has she had one since then?
I don't know. Minua, have you had one since then? Was I frozen for a short while?
You know what that is, right?
I know what. Yeah, every time I leave the screen, like I go to a different tab, I freeze. So that's the only reason why I'm freezing. I'm still there. You probably hear my voice, you just don't see me. I don't know why it does that for.
My CGM was alarming me because do you silence your CGM ever? Do you turn your alarms
only
off?
when it's like ringing in my ears.
The alarms with the CGM, it would just alarm me because my blood sugar was 64, which is low, but not that low.
Right.
But the alarms give me a lot of anxiety, so I usually just silence them, because I look at my levels all the time on my phone, and I don't like to be alarmed.
Right.
And
You're checking it enough that you don't need to be.
Right. So I just turn the alarms off because they give me anxiety, and anxiety will raise your blood sugar. So it's kind of, kind of dumb. those alarms. Somebody had a post today, this really funny guy who he shares about technology for type 1 diabetics.
Mhm.
And it's important work, and he's really good at his job. But he sometimes he has a funny streak. And today he was doing what would a CGM alarm, if it was a dance, would look like. And so he had his alarm go off and he was doing these dance moves. And it came up on my phone because he's on Instagram doing this. And my son asked me, "Are you all right?" Because he thought it was my alarm. And then I realized it was making me anxious, just the sound. And I knew it was his alarm, but the alarm sound just made me anxious. And I had to like skip ahead to another post right away.
I mean,
It's,
I definitely have to turn it off, silence it when I'm at work,
oh,
because
yeah.
that's actually, it's not really the alarm itself that makes me anxious. It's the going off when I'm working. Like I'm in the middle of working with customers and stuff like that, and the boss and all that stuff. So I just, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But normally if I'm at home, I'm just like, all right, shut up.
Oh,
You know.
it definitely increases my anxiety. I need to
And
have
yes,
it off at all times.
I do talk to my CGM and tell it to be quiet or tell it to shut up or whatever. So
I'm not going to tell you what I say to it. That's probably the only time I curse.
Well, I even said I wasn't cursing. I just
I curse my CGM out, definitely. But it's
So
better than cursing myself out.
that is true. That is true. And I just to let you know, I just subscribed to Lisa's Blessed Life. She just put her channel in the chats.
Can I do a chat? Can I if I
Just,
can I put
just enter in prime
okay.
rib, all lowercase, one word, and it will go up in there. And you're also in the description too. So all you
Well, everybody go to my channel and subscribe.
if you haven't subscribed already, definitely subscribe to Aimee.
Okay, how do I get back?
I don't know.
No, don't do that. I don't know how to get back. Okay.
Oh, you put it in the studio chat. No, you have to do it in YouTube.
What?
Yeah.
What did I do? So I can't do
We
it.
did on StreamYard. You have to open up YouTube on your thing and go to the show.
I'll do it on my phone. Target prime rib.
No, not target prime rib. Just
Nutrition
prime
health
rib.
is concerned, right?
What?
Just prime rib.
No, I know, but I gotta find you.
Oh, you gotta
first.
find the channel. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Just prime.
Sorry.
It's okay. We obviously know what's talking.
Did it really say that? I said something wrong. Remove. I have to do it again.
You put down promotion.
I didn't. I wrote prime rib. They did something really stupid. Prime
Well,
rib. Prime, and it's changed. It wants to change it to promotion. And then it made it a capital. Oh my goodness.
you have really bad.
Well, I usually use a stylus because I have a problem with my hands.
Oh, okay.
So I usually use a stylus, and I don't have one right now. So that's why.
Like, boy, he's giving me work to do on this channel and everything.
Prime rib. Prime rib. And it's wanting to change it to promotion. Okay.
No, you did it. You put prime rib, so wait a couple seconds.
Woo. Oh, that's so cool.
There you go.
All right.
That's a lot of people have it. It's a different word for each person.
Well, I've had a YouTube channel for like, I don't know, maybe 2 years. I
Right.
should know when I started it, but I really don't.
That's
And I don't, I mean, maybe it's partly my age, but I know a lot of people my age have YouTube channels and are really good at it. But, I don't know any of the technical, I don't know much of the technical stuff that I should know if I'm doing a YouTube channel.
yeah.
I can
I
get
mean,
on,
I don't know how far I would have gone if it wasn't for like people like Aaron, Amy, Lewis, helping me out with certain tips and stuff like that. So, and obviously the Linus lifestyle helping me with the StreamYard and all that stuff. So, I mean, who knows if Target Prime Rib would even still exist if I didn't have some help. So,
well,
it doesn't hurt to get some pointers here and there.
yeah, yeah, I should do that more
I mean,
for
Lewis is
sure.
probably
For
Lewis is probably
sure.
the best one. We got 36 people watching right now. So I did tell you it was going to increase, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It would have been 35, 37 if we kept what's his name in the thing. But well, actually, no, he probably still is part of it. Hey, Jason, how we doing? I am doing good today, Jason. Before you ask, I'm doing really well. I just have some shoulder
What
pain.
hat do you have on, Thomas? What
What was
hat
that?
is that? What's your hat?
That's my Target Prime Rib hat.
Oh, cool.
Let me see. If
Oh, awesome.
yeah, let me just check something really quickly. I'm not really
I
sure.
thought about if I had been doing this from home, I might be wearing a Dr. Kiltz hat, or what else do I have? I have a Kelly Hogan hat.
There we go. All
I
right, so
thought
I just
about
fixed, I
wearing,
just fixed the thing. So you see, there.
yeah, Target Prime riblets.
Mhm.
Riblets what?
Ribbons
Unlimited?
United,
Oh, United. Cool.
because we're all united. We're all in this
Yes.
together. So
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if I could figure out how to do a membership on my YouTube, but I don't know how to do that either. Or I
well,
would love to.
how many
I,
subscribers do you have so far?
what?
How many subscribers do you have so far?
I don't know. Maybe 800 or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, you definitely have enough to have the
Let's.
memberships. I'm surprised they didn't offer it to you, unless you don't have enough watch hours.
I don't know, and I don't know how to figure that out either. All right, view channel. Oh, I have 1,007
Oh, so you have
subscribers.
enough to get monetized, like commercials, but
And I don't know how to,
really depending
analytics.
on
Will
watch hours.
analytics tell me how
Yeah,
much?
yeah.
86K views
Okay,
and 254 shares,
okay.
2,000.1 likes. But I don't know how to do any of this stuff.
Okay. I think that should be enough for you to do. So I'm surprised that it hasn't come up for you yet to be able
Well,
to.
how does it come up? Do they email me?
You should have gotten an email.
No, I haven't gotten an email.
Um, Barbara's actually pretty keen on this stuff. Grandma Crochet Corner. So
Yeah, I have 1,074 subscribers.
Barbara, do you know any way that she could go and just double check and see if she just needs to click something to open it up or something?
Maybe it's on my YouTube studio. Oh, that's weird. My audience. This is weird. My
Okay.
audience is 89% male
Wow.
and 10% female. That's
Oh, she has to go into her tab Earn. So look for the tab that says Earn. EA, like earning a living.
yeah, where?
It should be like along the tab, like in your YouTube. There should be a thing that says
So not in analytics.
no, not analytics. Go to Earn.
All right.
Yeah, the only reason I spelled it is in case you thought it meant like earn, like a,
No, right,
for action.
URN.
Yeah. In case Gary's listening, he thinks I'm saying Jerry.
I don't see earn.
Yeah, and inside earn will give her hours.
Oh, I'll need someone to give me a tutorial because I don't see earn.
Yeah, and she says that you had to have 500 hours for the first and 1,000 hours for the second. But
So it wouldn't be in analytics?
no.
I don't know where it.
She means sorry, she meant not hours, she meant subscribers. How many hours does she have to have, Barbara?
Oh.
No, you're in your channel, right? Looking at your own analytics.
I am. Why?
Oh, just joking, because you're in my channel for before, so.
Oh, I was, but I went to my channel. But
yeah, 4,000 hours for the full.
Yeah, maybe I don't have enough hours. I don't know. I don't know how to find that out. That's got to be analytics, right?
And then Jerry actually says this. Aimee, 89% male. I like how she says male, like not male, but like not male. Means the guys think you are a hottie. You go.
No, you know why that is? It's because I did one of my pictures was me in my bathing suit because I was saying, this is 70 and I had my bathing suit on and that's what that video that has my bathing suit has thousands of views. And it's like, I'm 70 years old and I'm that's just weird. Like, that's just weird.
And you do things that you think that would be a benefit. And, like the whole reason, like even with my, like I've never showed, but I thought to myself, I'm like, if this actually does help me lose some of my inches off my stomach, I want people to see that. So I figure since I'm just starting it, let people see what my belly looks like, and and I'm not ashamed of it. I've just always been like I've just been very modest. I'm not like the type that's going to show, But got a few more people joined us. Lizzie's World. She says she's late, but hi, Lizzie. I don't know. 20 lashes with a wet noodle. Is what my grandfather used to say whenever you were late. So, and Keto Simple. Dustin is here. So hey, Dustin.
Yeah, the one with my morning workout with me in my bathing suit. I have 55,000 views.
Grandma
for
mentioned
all the other ones, some of the other ones I have 100 views.
Yeah. So Grandma's giving you instructions.
Okay.
You have to do it on your computer, not on.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. Okay. I'll do that. We don't need to do it right now, but that's
all right. So on a computer, she goes to My Studio, then down to Earn. Sorry about that.
Okay, I can do that. I'll do that.
And then down to Earn
later.
And she can see her hours there. So
okay, thank you.
Yeah, it probably is easier to see.
So what is Grandma's name?
Her real name's Barbara.
That's what I thought. Well, Barbara, thank you, Barbara.
And yeah. So I mean, do you think it's possible they could have sent you an email and you just didn't realize it was that?
I don't think so. I watch my emails pretty closely.
Yeah, so do I.
Now, there was a time when I had like 5,000 unopened emails. And my other son, who I'm not with right now, my oldest son, he was trying to school me. And, so we marked them all red and then I started over. And so every morning I look at every email I get so they don't mount up. But It's crazy how many emails you get overnight that are unimportant. They're only because you follow certain companies or you wanted to see what was on a website, and then you end up getting emails from them every single day. And then maybe I don't want to drop them. I don't want to unsubscribe because maybe they have something important to tell me. So I end up getting like 45 emails overnight that aren't personal. Maybe I have one or two emails, like one from you and maybe one from Alia, and all the other ones are from companies that I gave them my email just so I could get in and look at what they are saying.
Right. Okay.
And I'm afraid to unsubscribe because maybe one day it would really be important.
So,
And I feel like I'm the only person that is so silly and does that. I don't know. Maybe nobody has any problem unsubscribing. Just
so,
unsubscribe.
so just Jerry, this Thomas, bear in mind, when I'm at work, I talk to the computer. I do not type. And so when it spells out United States Coastal Service, if you know, you know, I'm referring to mail. Yeah, and Jerry, I tease everybody about it. It's just my personality, so
Right,
I wouldn't
right.
take it too personally.
So when you said mail, it
Yeah,
said,
it's not directed to you personally.
yeah.
Oh, we got a celebrity in the house.
Uh-uh.
We got a celebrity in the house. I mean, to me, she's a celebrity, but Limitless Lindy is here.
Oh, hi, Wendy.
Yes. It's always good to see Lindy. I'd love to have her on my channel someday.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lindy will want to set up a time and maybe strong arm Todd Bachnes to come on here as well. So, No Slow says males, a bunch of horn dogs.
Right. Well, that was pretty shocking that the audience is 85% male. That's very shocking.
Yeah.
That's weird. It makes me feel like I'm not being very effective in what I'm trying to do.
Well, yeah, you're trying to send a message on how healthy you are at your age.
Right, at my age. Right. And as a type 1 diabetic who's been type 1 for 55 years, I'm almost 72 years old, and I have no aches and pains, and I have really good energy all day long, and I walk 10 miles a day most days. So I'm just trying to get the message that you can be healthy at any age, and the carnivore diet is amazing. And I want everybody to be able to be healthy. I was in such pain my whole entire life until I found carnivore. I had debilitating headaches my whole life. I was in bed a lot with headaches. My kids, I was just like, oh, where's mom? She's in bed with another headache. That was my life. And I went carnivore, and I haven't had one headache the whole time I've been carnivore. It's like some kind of miracle. I don't even understand it. Like, how does that happen? I had horrible pains at the end of being a raw vegan. My body was so painful. All my joints hurt. It was horrible. And I was 52. I had pain before I found Dr. Bernstein. I was 42 when I found Dr. Bernstein, and I was in horrible pain. Like I said, I couldn't even hold my head up. All these things, I really thought I was going to die in my 40s,
Right.
And carnivore, I want to get the word out. It's some kind of a miracle that I have never had a headache in the 7 years I've been carnivore. My neck hasn't gone. I used to go to a chiropractor over once a week. Every week I had to go because my neck was constantly out and in pain, and then I'd have a headache. It was like that was my life. I haven't needed a chiropractor in 7 years. I haven't had pain in my neck in 7. I don't even understand that. How does that happen on a carnivore diet?
Yeah,
How does that happen?
Okay, you think about something for a second. They made us take away, by doing the low fat and everything like that, and by doing mostly, like trying to get rid of the red meats and, just doing very lean meats like chicken breast, with very, with like very little, with the seed oils basically and stuff. And then they have us eat more of the junk, more of the carbs. So so we end up getting sick, you know. And I think the reason why it's happening is because we're now putting back in our bodies that we were never meant to get rid of in the first place.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah. But is
because
it, and I always wonder about that, is it what we add or is it only about what we're taking away?
I think it's both. I
It
think both
has to be
have.
both.
Yeah, I think both have, the take, because think about it this way, okay? When you were younger, right? Your parents, for me, my grandparents, but your parents, they had stuff that we're told not to we're not told not to have it, but we are told, like, don't eat the vegetables and everything like that. But they still probably had vegetables back then, correct? But there wasn't as many disease back then. It was nothing compared to the way it is now. So back then, they still had the steaks, they still had the meats, they still had the butter, they still had all this stuff. But occasionally, they would also have a thing of potatoes. They would also have a
Well, they
thing.
have white flour. White flour and potatoes have been around for a long
Right,
time.
exactly. But why weren't they as sick as we are now? Because I think
It
because we add
depends
the
on
seed
how
oils.
far back you go. Like my grandparents' generation, there were a
Mhm,
lot of sick people then. There were a lot of old people that walked with canes, that were hunched
mhm,
over. I remember going to my parents were both from Tennessee, and they were both
right,
from little bitty towns in Tennessee, and we went to the Church of Christ. And that congregation, half of the old people were all bent over, and they were not happy,
no,
and they were in pain. So, they were eating white sugar and white flour
right.
and vegetables that had to be invented because you
Right.
can't go out into
Well,
the
the question
fields.
goes then: what were they eating the fats? Were they eating the red meats?
Well, and I think it's a combination of that you're eating red meat, but that you're not eating the vegetables and the white flour and the white
Right.
sugar that are
Right.
causing
We've
the
totally
pain and the disease, but you're also adding in the animal fat
right.
and the red meat.
Well,
And
which
it's
is,
got
yeah,
to be a combination.
which is my point. It's basically like like we've like in the 80s we've been like made to, like, we've been convinced. I shouldn't say made, because you can't make somebody do something. You can convince them, but you can't make them. But we've been convinced to get rid of the red meat, get rid of the, like, get rid of the
Right.
eggs, get
Yeah.
rid of, and then we're like told, like, oh, we'll have cereal instead, have this instead. So we're like getting rid of what's helping us stay good, and we're adding more of what's bad. So, I think that was the point I was making. Like, I think in the past, and as time went on, it got worse and worse because we eliminated the solution. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was like sort of like, like if like we stopped like adding water to the pond, and eventually it's like, well, the pond's all dried up.
Yeah, yeah, but you also wonder, all the phytotoxins that are in vegetables,
Yeah,
how much of the pain does that cause? Or is it the lack of nutrients that's causing it?
right.
Which,
Which again goes to how the things are now today. You
right.
know, um,
Well, I do know that today there are many more autoimmune diseases.
yeah,
Like in my grandparents' time, they were suffering and they were unhealthy, but they did not have autoimmune diseases. Those are the fibromyalgia and the lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. They might have had rheumatoid arthritis because there were a lot of bent joints. Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, I like to go back to, before agriculture. I
yeah.
think,
That would be pretty interesting.
Now, I have often thought this was like one of my theories because I'm always trying to figure out how can I get off of insulin? How can I heal type 1 diabetes? And one thing I have never tried, but I have thought about doing it, but it would be extremely difficult. If I could eat only what I could find in nature and kill, like if I ate only venison and wild animals, would that heal me? If I could only eat, what I could actually find if I was hunting. And I've never done that experiment, but it always interests me if that would heal it. But I don't know.
Right. Well, I mean, would that be possible for you to do, like go hunting and stuff? Or
I think it would be possible, but it would be very challenging. I mean, I'd have to buy a gun or a bow and arrow. I'd have to buy a bow and arrow, and I would have to basically live outside and go hunt.
Well, I mean, you think about it, Rick sort of does that, in
Yeah.
a small way, he has his crossbow and he has his duck guillotine, at the Duck Hotel that he has. And, and did you ever see the video of him catching the iguana?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So
there's a lot of hunters. I mean, I live in Maine. There's a lot of hunters in Maine. I just have to go up north a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
even there's hunters here in New Jersey too, but
and pemmican, you'd be drying the meat out to get through the winter. That wouldn't be easy. That'd be pretty challenging.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something I've never tried, but it has been in the back of my mind.
Yeah. Setsuko is here. Hey, Setsuko. Good morning. So we got a lot of people. We got a lot of people here. Some people have probably left. Retired Rick is here. Hey, retired Rick. I haven't seen in a while, but are you still doing your lives, retired Rick, on Wednesday nights? Hump Day?
That's today.
Yep. I used to have these things on Tuesday, but then I stopped, and then I was like, I kind of miss doing them 2 days a week, so I just put them on Wednesday instead. It just seemed to make sense. It made the division, because what it was like, okay, I do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so it's only like 3 days between, and then the others so it was like I wanted to have more even. So it just made more sense to put it in the middle of the week.
So when do you do lives on Wednesday? You do them any other day?
Saturday.
Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Jasper, hush.
Yeah.
Hush.
So they're always at 4 p.m. They're usually, I shouldn't say always at 4 p.m. They're usually at 4 p.m. But you do get some guests that, like I had one guest that I have to redo his, the invite and everything like that and figure something out, because he wanted me to do it 4 p.m. his time. But he's in Scotland. So that's like 9 a.m. our time. So, I work normally on Saturday at 9 a.m.,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not going to tell my boss, like, hey, because my boss sends me home so I can do my lives. But I'm not going to go and be like, well, I can't work for you because I have somebody that wants, he's going to be like, well, like I need you for this amount of time. So, because that's the way the job force is, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, my boss has been pretty accommodating. He actually helped me get this computer so I have better content and stuff. I just have to pay him like $30 a week in order to do it. So, which is a pretty good deal.
So what's that?
What's what?
Who are you paying $30 a week?
My boss at work.
Oh.
Yeah, he helped me buy my computer.
Oh, okay. I just was like spacing out for a second, and I missed that, and I'm like, wait, who are you paying?
But it's a program at work. What happened was I only work part-time. and there's a program at work that you can apply to get computers, and you just pay the job. Well, he did that because the reason why he had to do it was because he works full time and I only work part time. It's only for full timers.
Oh.
So he put in his name. I pay, he pays
Right.
them, and then I pay him. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, and so far so good.
Yeah.
You know.
Whatever it takes. That's awesome.
Yeah, and he said something about like like I'll check with him, but he said like he thinks I'm almost paid up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, well, let me know when I'm paid up,
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Miss Lindy says hello to Minuwa, that she just woke up. Ha ha, bed hair is not a good look at this time. Well, Lindy, I wasn't saying you have to be on now. I have a guest on later. I'm sure Aimee would not care if you came on with us, but I have to have reasons to have the different days to be on. Yeah. Let me see. I just went back a little bit just to see if there was anything.
So a couple of weeks ago, I don't remember what day it was, but Dr. Kiltz, their guest on the 6 o'clock show didn't show up. So they were asking people to come on.
Yeah.
And I always watched, well, I don't watch Dr. Kiltz. I always listen. And I usually from about 6 to 6:30 with earphones, and I go on a walk with my dog because,
Okay.
it's first thing in the morning. And they were asking for guests to come on, and I'm like, I have no makeup on. I'm in my outdoor gear in Maine, so I got, a big hat on and all this, and I'm like, do I really want to do this? So I just kind of dared myself, okay, because I'm really particular. I don't like to go on if my makeup's not. I mean, I put lipstick on so I can do a reel on Instagram. It's like I'm very particular about my looks.
Right.
And I said, okay, I dared myself to do it, and I did. I went on, and I'm like, I am not watching this. I don't want to see, but I did. I went on for a little while, during my walk, and I don't know. It's so funny. I think makeup is really funny because most women wear makeup, and men don't have to, and men look beautiful on camera. No makeup, they look gorgeous, but women feel like they have to have their I mean, I do. I feel like I have to have my makeup perfect. I don't wear a lot, but I wear just enough, and it's like, I wish we didn't have to do that, but I am not going to go on YouTube
Well, you got to do what makes you feel comfortable.
or Instagram without my makeup on.
Yeah.
No.
And Sharon says something. Some men should.
Well, I think most men look just fine without anything on.
What are you
They don't,
saying, Sharon?
Yeah. So
While you're looking at me.
So my husband was an artist, and he started painting me when I was 32. He had never painted figures before, but he started out as a landscape artist, and then he got into painting still life, and then he decided he wanted to start painting figures. So I started modeling for him when I was pregnant with my daughter, who I had when I was 32. So I posed for his paintings until the year he died. So I've been in, he used to say, probably 1,500 paintings. It might be a slight exaggeration, but I spent my whole adult life modeling for paintings, dressing up in beautiful white dresses, and I usually wore my hair up and, tried to look old-fashioned, kind of Victorian in these beautiful paintings. So there are about, 1,500 paintings out there with me. And that was my life. That was my job. That's so
Yeah.
I was still I did my last. I used to paint. I used to be in nude paintings as well, and I
Oh,
did my last nude painting when I was 65 years old, and I was still posing nude. And it's like I part of the reason why I've been on the weird diets was so that I would never, so that I would look as good as I could at the age that I was, because that was my job. I had to, I had to look
right,
good. I had to be a certain weight,
right.
and eating well was a lot of that, you know. Um, so anyway, that's a big part of my history. So when my husband died, I lost my job. I lost my income, and I lost my job, and I lost my house
Oh, I'm so sorry.
when my husband died. And so I've basically had to, reinvent my life. Um, I still don't really work because, at 70 years old, what am I going to do? I guess it was 4 years ago. I think I was 67 when he died. But yeah,
So Lizzie says
anyway,
men have beards to contour their face. Yes.
yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
that's
there are
true.
some women that have beards too. Don't dismiss them. um, and retired Rick says, "I am back, hoping that No Slow wasn't talking about me." Joke. Yes, he was. He was talking a lot about you, Rick. Um, you, me, and Amy were blushing on some of the things that Gary was saying about you. So, and we got here. Let me find one that's where he's saying hello to everybody. John Together Strong, which he is the one that made the video that you saw in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen John. I don't know John.
Yeah. So John, you could put your channel, just put a prime rib, lowercase, and all one word, and your channel should come up for if Amy wants to click it and subscribe. Yeah, he has a pretty amazing story too.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
have to look him up. He has a channel.
he has a channel. He does mostly songs though, sort of like
Oh,
Grandma does, like videos and songs. But he's pretty good at what he does. So,
so what's his basic story?
if I remember correctly, I think he was in a coma for a while.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I mean, he hasn't actually been on here. He's always welcome, but you know, um, I don't want to push him. You know, and I'm actually up to like the third week of August for guests.
So you do on Saturday and on Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah. So now sometimes you get cancellations and stuff like that. Like I'm predicting I might have a cancellation this Saturday because I have a very special lady that's coming on, but she's been sick.
Mm.
So and you know her, Laura, Love and Life. She's Coach Laura on SBG.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She's been sick, really?
That's what I
She
hear.
was
Yeah.
just at Meat Stock.
No, I think she said she got sick at Meat Stock. So
Oh no. Oh, something was going around. That's awful.
yeah, all the places to get sick at a meat convention. You know. So yeah,
That looked like so much fun.
that did. I'd like to go next year. I'll do Hack Your Health this year, and then you know,
I would
like I
love
said,
to.
the Albany trip is like sort of like a we'll see. I'm close. I'm about 90% sure I'm going to go. But until I get everything until I buy the train tickets and go on that train, that's probably when I'll be like, okay, I'm going.
Well,
Here I am.
so Albany is 2 hours. So if I come to babysit my granddaughter and then drive from my son's house to Albany, it's a 2 hour drive. So it's
And Lindy says that Laura lost her voice. So I'm
oh,
hoping she'll have it, because I don't want to put the post out until I know for sure. So hopefully at least by Friday that she'll be better.
well, maybe Lindy will substitute for you.
Yeah, Lindy, if Laura can't come on, would you be willing to come on and substitute for her? And then John says, I do. Yeah, I know you do a lot more than music. I mean, your videos and music, John, though, are out of this world. They are really good. And I think through them, you're telling the story.
Well, John, what if I wanted to know your story? What have you done an interview, or have you done your story that I could?
Yeah, I don't think he's done interviews yet. He probably has it. Probably the first video he's ever done and stuff like that. He probably tells it. But he's a pretty inspirational guy. Like I said, I'm very grateful for the two videos he made.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's a short one at the end too of this, just telling the hours and stuff. But I
don't even have that on my channel. I don't have an intro or an
I've been seeing so many
outtake or
people
whatever
with
it is.
intro videos. I'm like, okay, I need an intro. And he first I asked Grandma, and he was in the chats, and he asked if he could do it, and I said, yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
And I'm super grateful. That's why I have it at the end, his credits and everything like that, because I don't want anybody not to know it's not from him. I want people to recognize, and because then they might be like, oh, who's that John Together Strong? Like he made the video. Okay, let's now look at his channel.
He could probably make a living out of doing that for carnivores. There's so many carnivore channels,
Yeah. Well, I've been working with I've been doing AI pictures. I've been doing a few. Here, let me show you some of the things I've been doing. I don't have anything. I don't have anything of you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just haven't thought about it. But I've been doing my thumbnails on. So I'm going to just click up different ones. So this one I did for Erin.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, of her flying the booby goat, and then I'll just show one more. We were talking about Rick before, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find one of Rick that I did. Actually, I just did a new one of Rick. This one's him, like Milton, scratching them all up. And he's just like all calm and relaxed. Like, oh, you scary cat. And then this is one that Lindy did of me. So this isn't mine, but Lindy actually did this. So when I get my insulin down, this is what I want to celebrate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And we were talking about I'm like, okay, well, the only thing is, and I'm only mentioning this because Lindy's here. The only thing is these things look like little potatoes.
They do.
But
you can pretend like they're
But then someone said, what they probably are? They're probably Rocky Mountain oysters.
They could be little squares of fat.
It could be
beef fat trimmings.
Yeah,
they could be beef fat trimmings.
Yeah.
That's what when I go lion, I rely on beef fat trimmings for my fat, and I get a little tired of them.
Bella's buns. LOL. What?
Oh well, actually, she does make those little. She makes they look like bread.
Oh.
And she makes it out of I believe milk powder and eggs mostly, and they're little buns. They're little rolls.
And actually, thankfully, speaking of Bella's actually, and Lindy can confirm, but Bella's supposed to be on my channel on the 24th of June.
Oh, wow.
So that's actually pretty exciting,
That is amazing.
you know. So,
I
yeah.
have actually only done one interview. All my YouTube videos are just me in front of the camera talking. It's
Oh,
stupid,
you mean
but
you've had only one person on your show?
well,
You've done
I've
more.
only done
I was going to say
more
you.
than one person at the same time. I did an interview with 3 type 1 diabetics. But that's the only time. I mean, that's how hard it was for me to set up the interviews. I am clueless on how to make a thumbnail.
Right.
I haven't really figured it out, or I haven't learned yet, I'll say. And so that's partly. And I have a lot of fear around doing an interview. I'm very proud of you, Thomas. I think you do an amazing job interviewing people and setting it up and
I
sending the
try.
emails, all those things. They're not easy for a lot of people, you know?
Well, you
And
know, I mean, I found, and I'm hoping that this is working, you know, and I think it might be because people complimented me on it. But you know, when I used to do sales, you know, I used to sell tuxedos and I sold furniture
right.
for a while there.
Yeah.
And most of my customers that I would get came because I didn't talk all the time. I listened to, you know, like I just stay quiet as much as I can. I know I still talk, you know, I'm a gabbermouth, right? But you know, I would just like let people talk, let people tell their story, you know, like breathe, you know. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I
Yeah.
do the extension of 2 hours. You know, that's why I give it that base, because I want you to be able to feel free to embellish, because most of the time when we go on lives, it's for 1 hour. And you know you're not going to want, so you kind of like do this like elevator pitch. You tell your story as much as you can, but you're still looking at the clock like, okay, am I going over? Am I going over? You know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It
you
can
know,
go by pretty fast when it's
yeah.
only an hour.
And
Yeah.
you know, like I've had a few people gone, like Carrie, I think was like 3 hours and 20 minutes. Gary was about 3 hours and 25 minutes, I think it was.
Wow. Wow.
So you get some people go way over, and you get some people that are no more than an hour. Like Dr. Nelson was only 1 hour because he had to do his he had to go on at 5:30. Well, no, he was an hour and 30 minutes.
Right.
Because he had his at that time he was doing lessons on
Right.
the Wednesday
Right.
for coaching. So you know, for the coaching course. So you know, so you have all these things, all these people, you know, and it just, you know, but you just go, you just hope and pray they can at least give you an hour, but you give them enough time to breathe and to do. And I think that is, you know, but I get people all the time that, you know, like I actually put out an advertisement. I put it out to everybody, and then I put it out to individual people. I went to everybody that's on my Instagram. Well, not everybody, I still have people I could actually do too. And I've been getting very good results. You know, I got about like 10 responses back. One being Dr. Anna Rosa is
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be on my show.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me actually just check something out real quick, if you don't mind. And I'm not boasting for myself. I'm more boasting for these people, you know. Yeah, I got Dan Anna Rosa. I got Liz, Black Box Warning.
Oh, I love her.
Yep. And then
She's so funny.
Yeah. And then I got 2 returns in August. Minuwa is returning.
Oh.
A second interview, and so is Lewis.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and Lewis is easy. Like whenever somebody else pops in and I need to move him, he's like, okay, whatever, you know. But you know, Minuwa was supposed to actually be sooner, but then someone wanted to have her spot. I'm trying to think which it was. Oh, no, okay. No, she wasn't actually supposed to be sooner. She was supposed to be actually on the 15th, but Dr. Anna Rosa needed the 15th. So
right.
Yeah, she switched. So she graciously gave up her 15th Saturday to be on the 12th for Wednesday.
So it's a 4 o'clock on Saturdays?
4 o'clock. Yeah, same time. I mean, it's just
right.
that way, you know. So it's 4 p.m. Saturdays. Normally, Now, if there's a reason why I would have to accommodate, like, like there might be some times where I might have to do 6 or 5 because, if they're like 1 hour ahead, like, if you're in England, I'm not going to make you wake up at like 6 in the morning. Like, obviously, if I interview Lindy, I'd have to figure out, we'd have to like kind of like change it around,
Right,
The lady I just interviewed, Jeannie, Running Tap, she's Australia. So she was actually, but she said she gets up really early. So when I had her on, so I offered to her, I said, well, we could do it 6 o'clock instead of 4. She's like, no, 4 o'clock's fine. I'm always up early anyway. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I'm willing to go around and stuff like that. It's just, the only thing I want to do is it can't affect my work. And I don't want it to be the only time I'm going to have, I actually, not this week, but next week, let me go back to May. I have a few things going on. Just trying to, on the last week of August, last week of May, I got a young lady named Lexi Knoll on the 27th. And then 2 days later, I have Jenny Middich.
Oh, wow.
And then I have, and on Saturday is the Albany meetup. So a lot going on. So
that is awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, I think everybody's good. I think small or big. I don't think there's really such thing as small or big. It's just, when I say small or big, it's based on what you think of yourself, I think everybody's big, like across the board. But, I mean, are we Dr. Barry's? No.
Yeah, we do have ways of measuring this. How many subscriptions do you have? How many Instagram friends do you have?
And also just the concept of just not feeling that important. Just like thinking like, oh, my story doesn't mean anything. It's not going to do anything. But I think the stories actually render a lot more than you think, and
well, a lot of times people hear that I'm type 1 diabetic. They're like, oh, I don't need to listen to that because it's not important. But I was also very sick before I started carnivore, and before I started low carb. So I think everybody should at least be on a low carb diet because I was so sick. And it wasn't all because I had type 1 diabetes. It was because of,
you had other conditions.
I had other stuff. So, and I
And
healed
it's a journey.
the weirdest things so I had been keto and low carb for so many years, like 30 years. And then I was keto, very serious keto for 8 years, but I still healed stuff on carnivore that couldn't heal on keto, even though I was only doing a few vegetables at the end of keto. I was on like 10 grams of carbs, but I still healed stuff on carnivore. And it was weird stuff. So for the first 6 months on carnivore, I coughed up mucus. And I had this condition where when you fly on airplanes, you have intense ear pain when you land and when you take off. I mean, they even make these things you put in your ears to make it stop. They didn't really help that much. So I was afraid to fly because it was so painful. I would just sit in my chair and cry it was horrible pain. Well, spitting up that mucus, the next time I flew, we got a chance to go to Moscow and Italy. And I was so afraid to go because I didn't want to experience the pain. But it was I went as a carnivore and did not cheat in Italy or Russia. I was full carnivore. My ears didn't hurt. It was completely gone, no pain. Now, keto did not do that. That was carnivore. That was one thing that went away. The other thing was like a lot of people, my floaters in my eyes left. They were so bad that I was having trouble seeing. I had so many floaters in my eyes, and that completely left as a carnivore.
I mean, I've healed so much since I've started carnivore and since I've done. I mean, I still have things going on, but I have a lot of healing to do. And I think a lot of my problems is like You know, it is. I decided to clean my house, right? And in the past, whenever I would like sweep the dust, I would sweep it under the rug and put it under the rug. Well, I've decided to clean the rug, and that's pretty much what's happening. You know, it's, you know, like I'm just now like, opening the rug up now and trying to clean the rug, scrub the rug, and do everything, and I have to clean the floor that's underneath, and it's just this big process, and it's not everybody's right away. You know, like I value people that are on here, or that are in the thing that have like really high A1Cs and they go down to like a really good level within a few months. Well, great, that's great, but that's not everybody.
No,
Yeah.
it's not everybody.
You know,
A lot of
and
people who've been type 2 diabetics for a long time have a hard time lowering that A1C.
yeah, and I've been diabetic
It's,
for 23 years. You know, and also too, no one really knows either is about almost 2 years. The job I had at one time wasn't giving me insurance, and I didn't think to do the Obamacare, which I probably would have benefited if I did. You know, so I had no insurance for 2 years, so I wasn't getting my, you know, like I did eventually figure out how to get like my sugars tested and stuff like that. But what could I do? I couldn't get insulin. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. So, you know, I had to pretty much, you know, so the sugars were probably going higher, and then
yeah,
like
sometimes you damage your pancreas and you too far to heal, you
right,
know.
and you just don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
luckily, I think, you know, if, you know, especially if Paul was right about my C-peptide test, um, you know, and I'll find it. I just, you know,
Yeah.
it's like one of those things, like when you're looking for something, you just don't know where it is. If I wasn't looking for it, I'd be able to find
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
it. And you know, with that test and everything, I just, you know, but it's a, you know, like I'm a lot better. I'm a lot better mentally. I still get depressed occasionally, but it's more from like, you know, believe it or not, I get more depressed from when like a riblet says something that's a little off-putting, you know, than really if like somebody, like some jerk like John Studd or something like that makes a comment. It's like they make a comment, it's like, okay, you're a loser. What you know, like you're too infatuated here with my belly, man. You know, like what the hell's going on? If you're even a man, you might be a cat for all I know. You know, like I you know, I wouldn't put past it. Rick's cat Milton is actually typing. He's actually John Studd typing in. I'll get these carnivores. Let me just see if there's a lot of them are talking to themselves. Smoked bacon. I don't have a smoker, so I can't do smoked bacon. I can't do anything smoked. But do you have an air fryer at all, Aimee?
I have an air fryer and a dehydrator.
Okay, so have you done
I
dehydrated?
did make dehydrated bacon for my trip.
Okay, and how do you like it?
It was not as good as dehydrated pork belly, which was
Oh,
amazing.
I haven't.
Dehydrated pork belly is amazing.
I can imagine.
But the dehydrated bacon was, so you chew it up, it tasted really good. It actually reminded me of Ritz crackers, which was really funny because I haven't had a Ritz cracker in 30 years, right? But I didn't realize that the flavor of Ritz crackers was like bacon. I had no idea. But it was good. You chewed it up, but then you were left with this cud that you couldn't finish chewing, and I would end up just having to swallow it. So it didn't really chew up all the way. So I'm not sure about the dehydrated bacon. A bunch of carnivores were doing it and talking about it, so I thought I'd do it, and
Right. I've done it.
it
Yeah.
was okay, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah, I did
You
it
know.
in my air fryer. I don't have a dehydrator, so I did it in the air fryer itself. It's good. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't really see a difference between the two of regular or dehydrated, but they're both okay. You
Well,
know, let me correct that. I do see a difference. I just don't see a difference in my taste buds.
mhm,
You know?
mhm.
So,
Well, that's about all I use my air fryer for is bacon.
okay. No, I use mine for my steaks, for my burgers, I actually hard boil eggs in my air fryer. So Aimee, because we look at you and see a very svelte woman, what's your opinion about high fat and moderate protein with carnivore?
I believe in high fat. Uh, uh, I eat at least, double fat, twice as much fat as I eat moderate protein and very high fat, like probably 80%. I believe in it. And it does high fat does not make me fat. Because when I go on the lion diet, I have to be careful not to lose too much weight.
Okay. And Jerry is saying, by the way, I am 202 pounds at 5'10" and we still have a lot of healing to do in my body. That's why I still keep high fat in the front line, in the forefront.
Yeah.
Let me just, yeah, unfortunately, you can't stop the
Well, in my case, I've studied nutrition since, I started studying nutrition in college. I took a class,
Right.
and then once I got out, and because I was trying to heal type 1 diabetes, I was seriously looking at health and nutrition at a very early age. And because I was modeling for my husband's paintings, I was extremely careful about my weight. So that's just why I stayed skinny, because I've studied
Right, you're
nutrition,
so
and I
focused on it.
understood how the body works and how my body works, and maybe genetically too. My parents were very thin. My sisters both did gain weight when they were older. So I could have, if I hadn't paid attention. It's not like I can't gain weight. I'm sure I could have if I had been eating carbs.
You really
But I
tried.
haven't eaten carbs for 30 years. It makes a huge difference.
Right.
So I have an advantage. And I understand how it gets away from people when they don't understand nutrition, or they don't understand what carbs can do to your body. I understand how easy it is to gain weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how difficult it can be to lose it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I get that. But I had certain things that happened in my life that made it easier for me. And actually, in that way, the type 1 diabetes was an advantage, because it made me so sick that once I found out about low carb, I was so desperate. I mean, I was dying at 42. I thought I wouldn't
Yeah.
last much longer.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So-
when I was going through my amputation and my infection, my paralyzation, so to speak, I thought that I didn't have that much longer to live either.
Yeah.
And I was, stupid mistake that everybody makes is I asked Google some questions, because I would get comments from people like saying like you don't have that much longer. They were treated like I was being treated like I was about to die, like I was like at the end of my, and I think that's what made me ask Google. I asked Google, I said, what is the lifespan? I didn't ask about diabetes. I said, what is the lifespan of somebody that has neuropathy that just had an amputation? And they said that most people that have amputations after neuropathy have maybe no more than 6 years.
Mm.
And so I'm thinking like myself, like I'm not going to make it to 60, and even at the time when I looked, I was not 53, obviously. I was more like 51.
Mm-hmm.
But, that was a very humbling, very, and it might have been actually what planted the seed, because I didn't want to die.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I'm doing basically everything that's been told to me. And if you think about, like, a lot of people are like, well, they never told you to eat the junk or anything like that. Well, no, they never told me directly to eat the junk, but they put it on my plate. Like they'll be like, if I wanted bacon, they're like, no, you can't have bacon, or you can't have butter, you can't have this. But if I ask for a cupcake, they'd be like, okay, yeah, here's
donuts, cupcakes. Yeah.
So maybe they didn't directly say have a cupcake, but it's right there. Pancakes. I mean, I used to get pancakes with like syrup, and and they give me like, I'd asked for sugar-free syrup at one time, and which is not much better than, or if it is even any better than regular syrup, and they'd be like, okay, and they would give me the sugar-free, but if I asked for the regular because I didn't like the taste of sugar-free, they'd be like, okay, that's fine. Here's some sugar packets. Do you want sugar packets?
Yeah.
Like I had a lady at work that's diabetic, and she's like, well, it's okay to have like the Splenda or the stevia. That's okay to have. I said to her, I said, no, your body does not know the difference. So when you eat it, all it tastes is sweet, and that your sugars go up. It's as simple as that. Like you're giving your body too much credit in that particular format. That's like, oh, well, I know this is not sugar. We know.
Well, I'll tell you now. It wouldn't to me because of how my body works and how I really don't make any insulin at all.
Right.
So I could do those things and my blood sugar wouldn't go up. But
You're a different story.
I was addicted to stevia for several years, many years. I used to even put it in my drinking water. I mean, I was addicted to it. But I think that your body does not recognize if you're doing Splenda or some kind of artificial sweetener, even stevia, your body doesn't know what to do with it. It doesn't recognize it. It's a chemical that your body does not understand.
Exactly.
And so it's not necessarily that it's making your blood sugar high or it's doing this or doing that. It's that your body, it's like throwing mixed up signals to your body. Your body just doesn't know what to do with it.
So John Sugar Strong is telling a little bit of his story.
Okay.
He started at 367, now at 190, 15 years keto, 1 year carnivore, reverse diabetes, fatty liver, heart disease, after a five-time bypass, no glasses needed anymore, mental clarity improving every day. That is
Wow.
That is
That's amazing. That's awesome. Wow. How old is he?
He's older than me. He might be between you and me. I think he's like in his late 60s. So I think, I don't know. And then Carnivore Cheer, Lori, says, and she was on my channel a few weeks ago. She says, good point, Thomas. The brain doesn't recognize if it's a diet sweetener. All it knows. And, obviously with you, that was, but, like I think with her, I think it does recognize, because she's like, why is my sugar still going up? Well, it's because you're eating the sugar. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm eating artificial sugar. I'm like, that doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm like when you read on the label, no added sugar, do you think it means it has no sugar in it? And she's like, yeah. I'm like,
There's still a lot to learn.
yeah. But it's just all you can do. Like sometimes you can't, like you and me are both coaches, and for me, I find that it's easier just to let people do. It's their lives. I can't force you to do. But every once in a while, if you can throw in, like sneak it in a little bit of education of something you've learned, something and that's why I get so worried about that. That's the one thing I do get worried about with not having progress, because I think to myself, like if something looks bad to me, if I'm having issues, then are people that I'm trying to show that this is helping, are they going to see it as, well, look what's going on with you? What I'm trying to say. And that can be a little scary. Oh, he's 62. That could be a little scary and everything. So, so that's the only reason why I care. I know that it's a journey, and I have to keep on telling myself that it's a journey. But I also think like when I go visit my sister, if I'm coming back there and I can hardly walk or something like that, if it's one of those days that I'm walking, like having a hard time walking or climbing or anything like that, then it's like, oh, okay, is she going to see that and be like, well, it's not really helping you at all. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But she's been pretty supportive. I mean, she gave me birthday money for the, like I said, for for the next
Albany.
meetup, and she
Mhm.
actually paid for Boston. She actually helped me pay for Boston.
Mm.
So which is where I met you in person.
Yeah, 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 that
And
was awesome.
we'll meet each other. I mean, you're going to Albany as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying.
I'll meet you there, hopefully,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything. So we've been here for
yeah,
over
it's
2.5 hours.
yeah, yeah. And my current blood sugar is 42 right now.
Okay, so we're going to end the show.
Oh, now
And
it just says low.
okay, can you hold on for just a couple
Yeah,
minutes?
I'm fine. Yes.
So I'm going to let me just check something really quickly. That's nothing. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, just cross your fingers that Laura's voice comes back, and we'll have her on Saturday. Because I think she's going to be a really great
Yeah,
inspiration,
yeah.
really great
We're the
story.
same age.
Yeah, I know. Because we're carnivore.
That's right.
How good am I going to look when I'm 72? Right? All right. So everybody, live, love, heal, and for goodness sakes, just ask Aimee. Eat the meat. See you guys soon.